Teddy Roosevelt always said, speak softly and still clip the microphone.
Yes, I believe was quite the quote from him.
Yeah.
Yes, he had a way with words, that man. And welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, Netflix and Kill edition. And, I would say we're talking about one of my films this week, because it feels like so much of one of my picks. But we're actually talking about one of Travis's.
I picked a good one.
Yeah.
It is so much one of your picks.
It is very much one of mine, so it's a treat for me this round, because it feels like I got two. But who's cheating the system here? Why, it's me, Nick, the Merc with a mic, and my fellow Unapologists,
Travis. And Kyle.
And we are going to be talking about the film Lucky Number Sleven.
Boss wants to see you. Who's the boss? The guy we work for.
I'm not the guy you're looking for. I don't live here.
Yeah, well, you look like the guy that lives here.
Then you don't know what the guy that lives here looks like.
What he means to say is you look like you live here.
Yeah, that's what I mean to say.
What happened to your nose?
It's a very long story.
I think it's time you told me that story.
Well, there's this guy and they call him the boss. I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm the boss.
They picked up the wrong guy.
Wrong guy for what?
Whatever it is you want to see me about.
Do you know what I want to see you about?
No.
Then how do you know I have the wrong guy?
Then right across the street lives this other crime boss they call the rabbi.
Why do they call him the rabbi?
Because he's a rabbi.
But I'm not Nick Fisher.
And who the hell are you?
I'm Sleven.
That's not Nick Fisher.
I know.
He set you up. You should run.
I can't.
They'll kill you if you stay.
They'll kill me if I leave.
Time's up.
Actually, for a second, Kyle, can you look left for me?
take a quick look left.
You do realize my left is looking at you, right? Fair enough.
See,
Look more left, Kyle.
the listeners
left.
The listeners don't know that.
Well, now they do. That's why I had to verbalize it.
Visual jokes on a podcast. Yes. This is starting great. But yes, what we do first need for any good podcast is the Kansas City Shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we need a body for that too. What body is in trouble in this film? Why, it's Josh Hartnett.
Yes.
As a Sleven Kalevra. And he's a shit ton of trouble in this film.
He's nothing but trouble in this film.
Yeah, cause he plays a character who goes to see his buddy Nick.
Yes. Never trust a Nick.
Never trust those dirty Nicks.
Never trust a Nick.
Yeah.
It's how to go. He lost his job, found his girlfriend cheating on him, and then got mugged. And that's the beginning of the movie. Yep.
Yeah, I suppose I'm explaining
the first 5 minutes of the movie.
I'm explaining the movie, but it's Travis's job to actually explain it. Because
I was just gonna let you go.
I'm so confused, Travis. But it gets further complicated. Travis, would you like to describe what further complications arise?
Well, the movie starts off even before that, apropos to nothing, of just showing Bruce Willis showing up in a wheelchair.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah,
is Bruce Willis in this movie?
He is indeed in this movie.
Oh my god. That's almost as good as the Liam Neesons, but Bruce Willis still cool too. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, he starts off there's this random guy, you have no idea who he is, in a train station, and Bruce Willis shows up to him in a wheelchair. And then he starts explaining about this Kansas City Shuffle, which include just long weird story about how this guy started, there was a horse race. There was one horse that started getting steroids used on it. The word got out, and then everyone got word of the fact that this horse was going to have steroids, so it was going to be a sure thing. Mm-hmm. So this guy decides it's a sure thing, and he bets, what was it, 20 grand on this horse?
It was 20 grand and then 22 with the VIG.
Right.
If I would use my gangster vernacular. Mm-hmm. And of course, with the bet that size, the bookie he goes to has to lay it off on some pretty nasty people.
Yeah.
And so when things go inevitably sour, because when the movie starts off with like, oh, this bet, it's a sure thing, you as an audience member know, oh, shit's about to go real wrong. And yeah, they murder, like, when the horse gets, gets shot even. Like, even the horse gets killed during it, but I think it breaks his leg first. Anyway, they kill, like, everybody. They kill him, they kill his wife, they kill the bookie, they kill his son.
And probably their dog, too. I don't know. They probably had a dog there.
Their dog, they kill their nanny, their second cousin twice removed. They want to set an example, so, and then, of course, our character that Bruce Willis is talking to is very engrossed, and he's like, whoa, so that's a Kansas City Shuffle? No, that's just the setup. Here's a Kansas City Shuffle. And he snaps that guy's neck. Yep. I'm like, holy shit!
Because first we need a body.
Yeah, so that's where our film truly starts, and we meet Sleven. And he gets stuck with being... having people think he's Nick because he has no ID on him.
Because he gets mugged.
Because he gets mugged after his girlfriend cheats on him, like you were saying, and he has to go over to Nick's place. And
but hey, he gets a flash Lucy Liu, so I mean,
yeah, that's true. So yeah, we got Lucy Liu in this movie too. You know what? Let's take a time out and just talk about the cast of this film for a minute, because we got. Josh Hartnett probably in his best role I've seen him in. I mean, I can't remember where I liked him more in a movie. We have Lucy Liu as the cute neighbor coming in to check on him. We have Bruce Willis as this hardcore assassin. We have two gangsters played by two of the best character actors I've ever seen, Morgan Freeman and Sir Ben Kingsley, playing two rival gangsters.
Yep.
And I'm just like,
across the street from each other.
They're literally in separate towers.
So when Morgan Freeman is looking outside the window all forlornly, like, you know, that typical gangster thing, like, this is my city, when later it's revealed, like, oh, they're across the street from you, you're like, oh no, he's literally looking at his rival across the street. Like, they're literally mean-mugging each other, like, constantly. And when I look at this cat, and then Stanley Tucci has a small bit part in here as a cop, and when I think of this cast, I just go, how do more people not know about this movie? It's ridiculous how under the radar this film went.
Well, it's funny because I think I said that I didn't remember seeing this movie, and when I was watching it, I didn't remember it until I got to the twist, and I'm like, no, actually, this seems familiar now. Right. Or maybe you just told me about it enough. I can't remember anymore.
Well, I do remember I saw this in high school, and I was like, I just saw the trippiest movie, and I really dug it, so maybe I did explain it to you.
Yeah, groovy, bro.
It was, man, I saw this thing.
Man, it was trippy, groovy, man.
It's called Lucky Number Sleven. Now I'm turning into a discount Shaggy. But, yeah, this is basically the setup because he gets kidnapped
first. He gets kidnapped by the boss. And, Nick, why do they call him the boss?
Because he's the boss.
Oh, right. Never mind.
Or he should have just said, because I'm Morgan Freeman. That's why they call me the boss.
Yeah, just to find out that Nick owes him, $96,000, I think?
$96,000. How do you owe a gangster $96,000?
Like, was that all at once, or did you accrue that, or how did that happen?
It feels like he would have come for his money before that.
Yeah.
But, luckily, Morgan Freeman offers him an out.
Yes.
For the debt. And all he's got to do is do a small favor for him, which is to kill the rabbi's son.
Why is it called the rabbi?
Because he's Sir Ben Kingsley.
Oh, fair enough.
But no, he's also a rabbi. And he's got to kill his son, the fairy.
Who's called Fairy because
we're going to have to do this the whole goddamn movie. But, because he is a little fairy. That's the twist at the end. He sprouts wings, flies away. Because people believe in him enough and clap enough. But yeah, he has to kill the rival gangster's son because Morgan Freeman's son died earlier in the film. We saw that. And he decides, like, oh, I'm going to, get you to kill him for me. Like, why would you hire a professional? Well, why would I hire a professional when you already owe me money? And later we realize, like, it's a little more complicated than that because Bruce Willis, who is playing the assassin Good Cat, is kind of milling around behind the scenes. And he looks like he's playing both sides against the middle. And looks like he's got it out for Sleven as well, because it becomes readily apparent that he not only does he knows that Sleven is not Nick, he seems to intentionally know that, and it seems like he's set into motions to make it look like he is Nick. So,
well, even that's the thing is that Morgan Freeman's character, the boss, even knows that he is not Nick.
So you're wondering, like, what is Bruce Willis's deal with this kid? Like, why is he going through all these hoops in order to get him involved into
Like, what did he do?
What's the end game here? And of course, it culminates into a twisty finale that I thought was pretty compelling. But we'll get to that in a minute. Kyle, you've been pretty quiet for most of the time. What would you think of the film overall?
I thought it was entertaining, at the least. I mean, I was surprised when I looked at Rotten Tomatoes that it scored a 51% with critics.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a little bit of a controversial film because and I was looking at some of the reviews. Some people do find this film to be a little like too clever. Like that's what like the comments I saw on it. Like I was like, "Ooh, this movie thinks it's smarter than it is."
Yep.
And I can sort of see that,
But
because
it's fun.
And it's got a really convoluted storyline if you come to if you start thinking about the sequence of events that occurred. Like, it seems Morgan Freeman's confused on who this Mr. Good Cat is, but I might think he's actually... It was weird. It was kind of confusing, actually. But I enjoyed the movie. I'm not going from that. I'm just trying to bring back the other perspective of this.
Yeah. Now, where I gotta agree with Kyle here is that the storyline itself is actually kind of convoluted, and the underlying narrative is just like, wow, a lot of these decisions that people make are based off of the exact right needed decision and coincidences sometimes. And later in the twist, it actually reveals like, oh, some of those were set up to where they played out exactly how they were, and then some of them are still just coincidences.
Yep.
But the thing I like about this film, and why I find it entertaining as well, is the fact that the dialogue is very, very fun. And
it's kind of nonstop too.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about why do they call him the boss? Okay, he's the boss. And like, I thought he was the boss. Why? Do we look alike? Yeah. Anyway, you owe me money. Like, oh, well, that's, I'm actually not, I mean, like, yeah, you said that. Yeah, but to him, when I thought he was you. Like, no, to be fair, you thought he was me. Like, wait, now I'm confused. like even Josh Hartnett sounds like, I think I've lost the continuity here. So I just like that it's fun. Plus the editing of this film, like we were talking about, like our last couple Netflix and kills have been like with like I Am Not a Serial Killer, and some of our previous ones I've kind of come down on some of the editing and stuff. And this is a film where I feel like this is a good use of editing to where we see Slevin meet with Morgan Freeman and they're playing chess with one another. But then we see Morgan Freeman in a previous meeting with Mr. Good Cat also playing chess, and we see them playing off of each other, and then the scenes interconnect to where it feels like Good Cat is playing chess against Slevin, where Slevin doesn't know about it. And it interconnects those two scenes and what's going on in a very interesting way that wouldn't work if you just showed those two scenes back to back rather than intercut.
Yeah, I liked that.
And so, and there's plenty of moments like that in this film where, sometimes the camera will spin, and then by the time it's done spinning around the room, it'll be in a completely different location or a different time, and it's not confusing at all. We know where we are and when we are through most of the film. That, and like I said, the casts and the acting of this film is pretty on spot. Is on par with some of their best performances they've ever gotten. Morgan Freeman and Ben Kingsley should always be bad guys now. Like, they should always do that.
I don't know. Wanted.
Ooh. Yeah, okay, maybe that one was so good. But maybe it all has to do with the director, which I was looking at the director of this film, and I'm surprised because it's actually directed by
Paul McGuigan?
Yeah.
McGuigan? I don't know.
Yeah, and Kyle should remember him, which because one of his other most recent movies was Victor Frankenstein with Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy. And he also directed Push, which is a movie I saw and didn't very much care for. So the fact that Lucky Number Sleven is basically his, like, from looking down at it now, out of what I've seen, is by far his best film.
He also has something for Luke Cage.
Oh, did he direct an episode of Luke Cage?
Yeah, he's on there for it, so...
Okay, well, maybe he also is a producer, so sometime maybe he had a hand in that as well. But, oh yeah, he directed 2 episodes of Luke Cage, so there's some good stuff in there. So,
Of course, a TV episode is completely different from an entire movie.
Yeah. Well, the thing about this movie is that it's not directed like, say, Push or Victor Frankenstein. It feels like this isn't the same director that directed those movies at
I don't
all.
know. I can see bits of Victor Frankenstein.
Can you?
And,
I did not see that one. So.
Yeah, I can see bits of it. There, again, clever dialogue is the thing that he seems to be. He seems to want to push for from looking at the two different movies together. Otherwise, and also like over the top set pieces, like set designs.
Sure.
Those two things I can see similar with it. I'll continue.
Okay. Yeah. So I like the scenarios in this film. We get Lucy Liu as the cute neighbor that very much directly inserts herself into the story.
Well, she comes in, it's like, there's something's wrong with Nick. How do you know that? Because he's not here and the door was open. She starts making all these logical decisions. I'm like, I guess fair, go for it.
She basically becomes like Charlie's Angels level detective, which out of nowhere.
Also, she's a coroner.
Yeah, and well, she's a coroner, and that felt like it came out of nowhere in the middle of the film too. It was just like, wait, what? And yeah, so basically most of this film is just watching Slevin get more and more ingrained in this plot and
beat up.
And beat up. Like, well, the thing about what I love about Slevin as a character is that he categorizes himself as having, what was it called? Asphyxia or something characterized where he can't feel worry, anxiety, or be preoccupied by anything whatsoever.
That'd be nice.
So he's kind of just cool throughout the movie, and
Even after he gets his ass beat.
Well, he is like when two dudes come into you and they start off by choking you, and they as like, "Hey, you're coming to see the boss," and he's like, "Well, I'm not Nick," and it's like, "So, well, you look like the guy that lives here." Well, then you don't know what the guy who lives here looks like. What I mean to say is, you look like you live here. And it's like, well, okay, that's obviously I'm not him, so you've made a mistake. And it's like,
all I know is the boss slides me this here dress, and he says, "Slow, that's him. Elvis, that's me. Bring me the cat who resides at this here address." Now, he told me that today. You just so happen to be here today. So I guess you the cat I'm supposed to pick up today.
But I'm not Nick.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for you, you're not the first cat to tell me you wasn't the guy I was looking for.
You can ask Lindsay. She lives across the hall. She's the woman who lives
Wait,
there.
hold up, man. I ain't asking nobody nothing. Nick, Slevin, Clark Kent, whatever the fuck your name is. The Virgin Mary herself could come waltzing up in here with her fine ass, titties hanging out and everything. And if she told me your name was Jesus Christ, I still gotta take you to see the boss. You know why?
No.
Orders. Now, you do know what orders is, right?
I think I got the
Orders
concept.
is orders.
So I guess no one ever taught you not to use the word you're defining in the definition.
and of course he gets punched.
Say something else. I will
And it's
break
like,
your motherfucking nose.
now you see what you get for talking smart, and he keeps doing it throughout the entire film. And he keeps getting hit. And it's like, he has the conversation with the police later, and it's like, you should really play ball, kid. You think I'm tall enough? I get hit again.
He just
like, damn it.
doesn't know how to shut up.
And it's funny. But yeah, it even has some cute stuff with Lucy Liu and his character building their chemistry. They go on a date while he
hooks up with a gay guy.
While he hooks up with the gay guy, he hooks up to the fairy he's supposed to kill in the bathroom while getting tagged by the cops, like he's getting tailed. And they kind of walk home and is like, "Well, man, you remind me of James Bond." It's like, that's the nicest thing I've ever said. Then they later, after they've had sex, which is a great scene too, because they're fiddling with the keys and like, well, I guess I'll see you later. And then Lucy Liu is just like, she even does it better, because she opens the door, leaves that shit open, leaves the keys in, and then goes right for the bedroom, just like, whoa, now that is some confidence. That is just like, oh, I know you're coming in, so I might as well leave these keys here and let all that shit, because you're coming inside. And that was just like, man, that is hot. And they're in bed together, and they're talking about like, you know what, you didn't define what Bond you said, so I was like, okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3 Lazenby.
And they say 2 obviously inferior jabons.
Yes. And it's like, what? Like, no, I was kidding too. No, I was kidding. And they get all defensive about it. And then it's like, they finally even say, they never even say Sean Connery. All they say is, Scotland forever. And I was just like, yeah, I really enjoyed that little level of character interaction and kind of building of that relationship. And the underlying mystery is intriguing. I actually do want to figure out why Bruce Willis's character is so invested in this Sleven kid. What is going to happen between the 2 gangsters, between Morgan Freeman and Ben Kingsley.
And what the fuck this Nick Dick did to piss off 2 different...
This Nick Dick.
to piss off 2 different gangsters.
Yeah, it's too bad this wouldn't be this is not going to be a Nick pick from me, because it would be a Nick Dick pick.
But we don't want to see your dick pics, Nick.
No.
Not again.
No. Twice is enough. But speaking of awful things... this film, while we are mentioning how funny it is, because it's got clever dialogue, it's got clever wit, and it actually is really funny throughout most of it. It's really dark in certain places where the tone, for my opinion, switches, and it makes an actually really easy transition to, because the humor that goes with it is actually kind of this darker humor, this nihilistic humor that kind of goes along with it. So it never really feels out of place when we see people get, like, shot brutally in the face.
Yeah. Have a baseball thrown into their face to kill them.
Yeah. And, it's very interesting. And, I don't know, I feel like I've also, I've gushed over the film. Like, obviously, I love it. Travis, but it was your pick. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about it before we go into ratings and spoiler talks?
No, I think it is a really great movie. We obviously have to talk about the twist later once we get to the spoiler section. That makes it even a better movie, but this is kind of a big joyride for the beginning where you're just like, what is going on? The movie keeps going and going. The dialogue is fast and clever. It kind of keeps you on your toes the whole entire time. There isn't even really a chance to be bored in this movie, which is very enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the only thing, one last thing I want to mention before we get out of here is just the fact that structurally, this film is, when I say I don't mind films violating
three-act structure.
Yeah, traditional 3-act story structure. This film starts with with a big flashback in the middle. Like the first act doesn't start until 10 minutes in. And this is the thing that I want to mention is, like, you can break formula. You can. It's just you have to keep your audience engaged and know the rules you're breaking and why you're breaking them. Yeah. And it becomes readily apparent, like, why a lot of these, normal film rules are broken later. And I do appreciate that on a not only just a technical level, but a professionalism level. Like, I'm not just breaking norms because I can. Like, I don't like that mentality. But, Kyle, is there anything else you wanted to mention before we go to ratings?
I actually liked the set designs, despite other critics going like it was over the top set designs. I personally liked them.
Well, I liked them. Yeah, kind of supposed to be over the top.
Yeah, it did feel like it should be over the top. I like the set designs. I like obviously the dialogue that we've been talking about this whole time. The pacing was good because of that quippy dialogue. Storyline not entirely fluid.
Look, let's just be honest. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense.
No.
No. Like, that's not the reason I really enjoy this film is the great narrative structure of narrative of it.
No, it's mainly going to be because it's an action comedy. That flows fairly well. Did we give ratings yet?
Nope. No, I was just going to make sure that I wanted to hit everything you got before we went.
All right, I think that's good.
You think it's good?
Yeah.
Do you want to go then into your rating?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Typically, I'd give a higher rating, but the storyline is a really big damper for anything higher than anything higher than a 6, but it still gets a positive rating.
Oh, sure. Yep. That sounds fair. Travis, what about you? It was your film. What do you think?
I give it an 8. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun, and such interesting characters.
It wasn't. Yeah, we even mentioned, because we mentioned briefly Slow-Mo, Elvis and what's his name, but we also have, like, the Hasidic Jews that pick him up.
Yes.
Which one of them doesn't speak.
We won't tell you why, because you have to ask him.
Yes, you got to ask him. Yeah, so fun. Me personally, I really enjoy what this film accomplishes. I feel like the narrative shortfalls are made up for by a slick pace and a very. I thought the set design was very visually interesting, and I thought like this is such an unbelievable movie. Anyway, it doesn't matter to me that the set designs look like something from a I don't even know what we call like a 70s, what they think a 70s New York movie would be. I thought that was actually added to the film rather than detracted. And yeah, the final twist where things are finally revealed. I thought watching this movie again, like maybe it won't be as good on a rewatch now that I know everything about it. Actually, kind of because I noticed more things that I didn't notice the first time round. So I thought that actually helped it. That I actually had that frame of reference. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
But you know what? Why not? Like even though it doesn't reach the 5 status, because I got to knock it for the kind of sillier moments of it. That I can't suspend my disbelief that far. I think I will give this a Nick Dick pick. Not a Nick pick, but a Nick Dick pick. How's that?
Let's get a special.
There's a special one-time rating.
You just wanted to say it again.
I did. I had fun saying it the first time.
And we'll see you in court.
So, yes, with that, I think we can announce our next film for next week.
All right, first of all, I'm going to say how difficult it is right now to pick a movie. Because there's a lot of good stuff on Netflix that came on.
March was so good.
A lot of things have come on. Dope is on.
Ooh, Dope is on. I had not watched
Dope is on.
yet.
But I don't know if it fits our criterion. So I'll have to watch it before I actually pick it, or one of us possibly picks it. We'll probably have to watch it.
I'll have to check it.
So I'll have to pick one that NPR kind of showed me to, so prepare for it to be boring.
Okay.
It's
not
called
NPR.
It's called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. It's directed by one of the actors from The Green Room.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Good Nazi.
Mr. Good Nazi. I know exactly who you're talking about too. What a great descriptor. Okay, what's it called?
It is called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. It is about a nursing assistant who is depressed, and her house gets broken into, goes to the cops. They don't want to really do anything about it because they only steal a spoon or something like that. So it basically is her turning into a vigilante.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Elijah Wood is in this movie as essentially her muscle/assistant.
Oh, I have heard about this movie. I have heard about it. Okay.
That sounds
It's
really
brand
weird.
new, 2017.
Well, maybe the reason they don't feel at home in this world anymore is because the title of their film is way too fucking long.
Yeah, I know.
But
I hate that title.
that title.
I hate that title.
I haven't seen the movie, sight unseen. I can't judge it, but that title is awful.
We are judging it.
So I'm gonna judge the title. But if you want to listen to me judge the movie, tune in next week for that Netflix and Kill. And if you are interested in sticking around for the spoiler section for Lucky Number Sleven, stick around for this small musical break, and we'll be back right after this.
It's a blindfold kickback type of a game called the Kansas City Shuffle. Whereas you look left, they fall right into a Kansas City Shuffle. It's a you think you don't know type of Kansas City hustle. Where you take your time, wait your turn, and hang them up and out you try.
And welcome to the spoiler section for Netflix and Kill. Lucky Number Sleven is the film we're going to be spoiling today. So, where should we start here? Because we got to start because the whole concept or the whole idea of him murdering the fairy. We're watching him, slowly build to that moment where he has to, choose to kill this guy in order to save his own life.
Yep. And then his face goes really cold. And then he just kills the guy.
He murders him, like, in cold blood, and you kind of go, whoa! I didn't really see that. I didn't expect that, because normally our hero would find a way out of it, or they'd, you're expecting, because this whole movie is a con movie, so you're kind of expecting, like, okay, maybe he's tricking them, and he's like, he has a master plan, and he does, but it doesn't involve sparing this kid's life at all.
And really, it wasn't even necessary to kill him, per se.
No, except for the fact that when you figure out later why his motivations, why he's doing it, then suddenly it makes sense. Because, first of all, this film takes its sweet-ass time explaining you the twist.
Right.
Like, the twist happens, but the explanation for the twist is like 15 minutes away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's like, so you just kind of left sitting here like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, yeah, because he kills the fairy, and then Bruce Willis shows up, and we're like, uh-oh, that's bad.
Right, because the whole idea is that Bruce Willis was going to kill him after he kills the fairy, make it look like a double suicide, and that way...
a gay lover's double suicide.
That way the other boss wasn't implicated and justice was had and whatnot. And so instead, he he saves our character, Sleven, and then proceeds to murder the 2 bodyguards that bust through the wall like the Kool-Aid man.
That was weird.
And
they purposely made that wall to be paper thin, apparently.
Apparently. Odd. Why not just have a door? I mean, but okay.
Well, it takes time to get through the door. Remember when they were in the planning process, it showed the guards going through the door. They weren't expecting you to not check the wall.
Except for Bruce Willis totally did, which was weird that he knew that was coming.
Well, they kind of gave hints with audio cues.
Yeah, they did. The thing about it is that then we start to see more and more people die off. Like, even before this, too, the Hasidic Jews that picked up Josh Hartnett, we see them dead in their car, and then suddenly after the twist happens, we see the 2 bodyguards of Morgan Freeman dead in the elevator as Bruce Willis walks out, and he's just sitting there not saying anything. And just like, okay, and Morgan Freeman is really slow on the uptake.
Oh, no, let's not forget that before that happens, they blow up the building.
Yeah, they blow that shit up real good. And he's like, so I hired you to do a job that doesn't look like a job, and you blew up the building? That kind of looks like a hit. Like, I mean, I don't mean to critique you, but this isn't exactly what I asked for. But he still thinks things are cool, so he's not seeing... the betrayal come in there. And then we see Sleven later go and collect Ben Kingsley and brings them both to the one tower, to Morgan Freeman's tower. And they have a conversation with each other, like the first conversation they probably had face to face in
like however many years.
Yeah, in decades, I'd imagine. And they're talking about like why Ben Kingsley sent people to murder him, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, like who's doing this to them. And then of course Sleven, our character Sleven, comes down and explains the whole thing, which actually he doesn't. He basically just says, "Do you remember this horse?" And then what's that actor's name? He calls Stanley Tucci, another cop calls Stanley Tucci, and explains this whole race from like this story that this old guy told, and he's the one that actually explains what goes down. Yep. And it's the fact that Morgan Freeman and Ben Kingsley were the bad dudes that the debt got laid off to in the beginning of the film, where the horse race bet, and they're the ones that decided like, oh, well, we're not cool with this fixed company. Like, we run shit here, and we got to make sure that we set an example. So let's murder everyone involved in this setup, and that way we'll be staking our territory, because it's like, because they were still new on the block. They were still the new kids on the block back then, and it gets revealed that the kid character that we thought was murdered was actually they had to bring in a specialist because no one wanted to kill a kid. And it was actually Bruce Willis. It was Bruce Willie, our good cat character, and he kind of decides
with 70s porn stash.
Yeah.
With 70s
and hair.
Man,
Almost.
that was some good stuff.
He did
right
look
there.
like Ron Jeremy for a minute, didn't he?
Oh, gross. Now I kind of want to see the Bruce Willis sex tape.
No,
but
no. How would you want to see that?
Morbid curiosity, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know, maybe see both his bald heads at once. It'd be weird. But
Out.
the
Out.
the thing we got here, I made Kyle quit. Yes. But yeah, Bruce Willis, for whatever reason, decides like, yeah, this is. I'm a professional assassin, but even I find this kind of messed up. Here, kid, let me bring you in, and we'll plan our revenge for like the next 20 years. and then we'll be cool. So, like, that's the reason that Josh Hartnett's character has been inserted into this film. He's actually been set up. Him and Bruce Willis both have set it up to where they've intentionally confused people that he's Nick. Bruce Willis is the guy he killed in the beginning was Nick. They set up the body so it looks like he was dead as well. Make sure they switch the watches so that he thinks they're dead.
And the important thing that they had to kill this guy is because Nick was a person that was in both of the books for both mobsters. Mm-hmm. So that Sleven would be able to get to them easier.
Yeah, and that's basically all the connection Nick has. It's just like, he's just
a poor sap.
No, he's very tertiary to the story. And he murders them the same way. Sleven murders our two gangsters the same way that his dad was murdered, which was duct taping a plastic bag over their heads. And man, they don't shy away from that shot either. No. Like that's rough to kind of watch. It's like, oh shit. Because I realize we don't see a lot of people, like a lot of on-screen death in this film. Like what we do see is pretty brutal, but a lot of people we see die are already dead by the time we see them. And yeah, it was an interesting twist. The thing, like the narrative thing that kind of falls apart on is that like Lucy Liu's character being so involved in the story from the beginning, and then being the coroner that figures out like all this other things. It feels like Lucy Liu's character like kind of like coincidenced her way to being really part of this plot,
right?
And it's like, wait, what? And yeah, it turns out that Bruce Willis. Like, she took a picture of Bruce Willis in the beginning of the movie, like, trying to see, like, okay, do you know this guy at all? And Bruce Willis comes up at the end of the film.
Shoots her.
And shoots her's like, I got that same phone, and murders her. Or so we think, because there's another twist on top of that, which is that Josh Hartnett has fallen in love. And he's decided to run away with her after this job is done. And Bruce Willis finds out about that too, and it's kind of like they have this tension at the train station, and it's like, I didn't think you'd understand. It's like, I like saved you in the beginning of the film, don't you remember? I totally get it, man. We're cool. Which is great, because I just wanted Lucy Liu in the back to go, you mean I got shot in the chest for nothing?
That still hurts.
Seriously? Because that shit hurts, man. I'd be pissed. But no, it all works out great. Actually, there was the original ending of this film was that Josh Hartnett would actually showed up to kill her, but audiences thought it was a little too dark. The murdering the gangsters with plastic bags over their heads, that's fine.
No.
But we can't kill the girl because that's
she's innocent.
I would actually liked it both ways because I kind of like that dark ending. Actually, I kind of like how nihilistic and fucked up it would be. But the happier ending kind of works too because I actually genuinely like Lucy Liu's character in this one.
Yeah,
she's so like she's kind of adorkable in this movie. She's like kind of she's awkward and like Josh Hartnett is always kind of like, I actually don't know how you are functioning right now. You're confusing me, but I kind of like it.
And in case the listeners are wondering, the reason why the character has such a weird name, being Sleven, is because he actually gave himself the name based off of the horse that lost the race that killed his parents.
Yep, the titular lucky number Sleven is actually the horse that dies. And we get that reveal in the coolest revenge ever because Stanley Tucci actually turns out to be the one that murdered his mom because he was in debt to a bookie back then that he mentioned previously in the film. And our character like slides out from the back seat like a fucking horror movie monster, puts the gun to the back of his head, like, and you tell he's been waiting this whole time for the conversation to go for the story to wrap up to get to this point in the dialogue because it's like, there's a new guy in the force, a Jewish guy. He's telling me that the name Clever it means, and then he's like, finally, yes, okay, I've been waiting here for like the last 20 minutes until this guy fucking talking. He finally said Clever because now I can say
bad dog,
and then shoot Stanley Tucci in the face. Yep. And I'm like, man, that must have been really awkward and inconvenient, but I don't care because that was the shit. That was awesome.
Good thing cops don't check their back seats.
Right?
Good thing no one checks their back seats. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's unfair. I need to give any killer the benefit of the doubt. I need to give them the opportunity to kill me. I can't make it too easy on myself.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, what I like about the twist too is that it introduces elements on the rewatch. I realized that, Josh Hartnett being really good at spotting bodyguards in the dinner. Like, they set that up because he was told previously about the bodyguards, so it's like, he knew to look out for them, so he could possibly do that. Mm-hmm. But then there's also other things like, I picked up a pigtail, and like the cops are tailing me. It's like, pigtail, that's cute. And I'm like, there's other subtle hints of like, there's like vernacular and like
he's a little too good at this.
He's a little too good at this, and the way he lies to the cops. Of course, he makes up the excuse that like I don't really care, but like I got the condition that makes me not care. But really, he's just super good at lying. Mm-hmm. And even then, there's a point in the movie where Lucy Liu is like investigating and trying to figure out what happened to Nick, but she does not really give a shit about Sleven at all, about his story at all. Because he's like, this is the first time this has happened to me. You mean this is the first time you've been hired to kill somebody? No, this is the first time that happened. But Nick has always been painting me in a corner. Like, he's making up this backstory, and he's totally bullshitting. Like, we know that now, like, on the rewatch. And then she's like, there was this one time, and then of course Lucy's like, okay, I can't wait to listen to this boring story, but I gotta get back to work, and then get back to the real investigation. Like, she could not give less of a shit about his story. Because he's like, man, I had a whole...
I worked on this so hard.
I worked on this whole flashback, and we were going to have, like, this whole thing, but, okay, I guess.
Shut up, Randy.
You just shut up. So, yeah, I like a lot of those aspects. I don't know, what do you guys think about the twist overall?
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it added to the film.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like, I was surprised at how rewatchable it was, even knowing where it's going. Because sometimes when you get a big twist like that, sometimes the movie isn't as fun to watch the second time around. But there's enough fun dialogue and character stuff going on that I actually was very intrigued by it. And I think it pretty much covers all the spoilery stuff, right? And like we covered pretty much all of it.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. They were kicking around an idea for a sequel because apparently Josh Hartnett says like, I would do a sequel. I'm like, I bet you would. You're the only one of these actors whose career didn't exactly take off after this. Then again, Lucy Liu has been kind of out of sight, out of mind for a while too.
True. She's
on that American Sherlock Holmes show, right?
Yeah, she's on a show right now.
Yeah.
So she's working.
She's working. She's fine. But yeah, like I said, I greatly enjoyed this film, and hopefully you've enjoyed it as well, because if you listen to this, I've totally ruined for you.
Yeah.
But if you want to join us next week for our next Netflix and Kill...
Our very long one that needs an acronym.
I need to go back to Netflix.
I don't feel like I belong in this world anmore.
Something like that.
Oh, is that the title? No, I was just saying, I was thinking about the movie we were going to review, and I was just stating my mind. But the...
Close enough. You got it close enough.
I got pretty close? Alright. So join us for that next week. And of course, if you'd like to suggest another Netflix and Kill movie to watch at another date, you can do so through our any of our contact information at unapologeticgeekout.com. Leave a comment on our webpage, or maybe give us an email at unapologeticgeekout@gmail.com. That also works. Maybe Facebook. Give us a like while you're there. Twitter at UGO Podcast. Instagram's the same thing. We were just at PlatCon. Check out some of our fun pics there. And of course, you can always help out the podcast by giving us those 5-star ratings on iTunes. They really help us out with visibility, and they're fun to read on the podcast too. So do for both reasons, because whatever goes in that review box, I read on the air word for word, guaranteed. And with that, I think we can call it a day until next week. We are Unapologetic Geek Out, and
we're out.